So, a Republican student group from the University of Florida is actually suing the university because there was a couple of students who got caught doing a Nazi salute. So, in response, the university suspended them. And I don't really want to say caught because they just straight up publicly posted it. We're going to look at that post right now, or at least the picture, I should say. So, this is from Sloan Rachmuth. By the way, not a huge fan of this woman. I looked into her. She's a Zionist, which is like strike one, you're out. But she's actually targeting like real anti-Semitism and real anti-Semitic things here instead of just like criticism of the state of Israel. So I will give her a pass in this instance. So is this UFCR, tagging the university, member Dylan Estrella pledging allegiance, or sorry, this isn't a university, this is actually the student group that these students belong to. And of course it is a Republican group because I think we have yet to see like someone who's a Democrat going around Nazi saluting and shit like that. Anyways, is this at UFCR member Dylan Estrella pledging allegiance to Hitler with a Nazi salute in a chat room on Gilded, which Gilded, even though I wouldn't call myself a gamer, but I play games and I've never heard of Gilded. And apparently it's like another VoIP platform like Discord. So you learn something new every day. Maybe it is just me slowly becoming a boomer and out of touch, but let's not get into that. Anyways, that's exactly what it looks like. UF needs to do an immediate investigation into its college Republican group members. I sent the remainder of this disturbing chat to the @FBI and others. Okay, like the FBI. Oh, anyways, I'm not gonna really get it too criticizing here because I mean this is pretty clear cut, and of course wearing a cross, like it's crazy. There really is no hate like Christian love. It is crazy to me. Anyways, this is what Republicans would call cancel culture. Because Republicans seem to think like they have this idea in their head. It's like, well, why can't we do Nazi salutes? Why can't we say the N-word? Why can't we say racist and bigoted things? It's free speech, bro. And they just struggle with the concept that if you're just kind of a vile person and a Nazi and openly expressing Nazi values and Nazi gestures, then you should not be accepted in polite society. It is that simple. Anyways, let's get into the actual article here. This is from The Guardian. Florida Republican student group sues university after suspension over Nazi salute post. A dispute among student Republican groups in Florida over alleged anti-Semitic behavior is heading for a courtroom after a chapter at the state's flagship university was suspended for an online post featuring two people giving Nazi salutes. On Saturday, University of Florida blocked campus operations of the school college Republicans after the group's state's leadership said it had disbanded the chapter for engaging in a pattern of conduct that violated its rules and values, including a recent anti-Semitic gesture. The chapter responded Monday by filing a free speech lawsuit against UF leadership, arguing that the action violated the constitutional First Amendment rights of a member engaging in an off-campus activity. See, again, like, what about the First Amendment? What about the First Amendment? The only time that Republicans care about the First Amendment is when it comes to what I just said, is throwing up Nazi salutes or calling people the N-word. Like, that is straight up it. When it comes to actual freedom of speech violations, like when you have people protesting the genocide that Israel is committing in Gaza, and these people get arrested and they get canceled and actually in some cases deported or detained for long periods of time, that's okay. That's fine and dandy. But when it comes to actually something that's straight up racist, bigoted, anti-Semitic, whatever, it's like, that's our First Amendment, bro. That's our First Amendment. Like, oh my God, just shut up. Like, no one believes you anymore. Okay. No one believes you anymore. In an next post, the chapter also suggested its suspension was tied to its hosting of an event with James Fishback, a controversial far-right candidate for Florida governor who has angered more moderate Republicans with his extremist views. Yes, this is someone who is a Republican who is so far-right, even other Republicans are looking at him being like, all right, that you're going a little too far. James Fishback is just a disgusting figure. He was like, I think he worked at a school and he was fired for having an inappropriate relationship with a minor. He promotes white nationalist, white supremacist conspiracy theories. He's a great replacement believer. He's like any action against a white person is white genocide type of guy. And he's just made several openly racist and anti-Semitic comments. So this dude, to be associated at all with this dude is just being associated with a Nazi. Like if you are associated with Nick Fuentes, you are probably a Nazi, because these are out and about Nazis, and their rhetoric, their what they say, what they're fighting for, it is all rooted in bigotry, racism, and actual anti-Semitism. And this is the anti-Semitism that I wish this DOJ, this White House, who pretends to care so much about anti-Semitism, this is the kind of anti-Semitism I wish they would go after, instead of like, some pro-Palestinian protests saying, hey, Israel, you're committing a genocide, or stuff like that. Because saying Israel's committing a genocide and trying to get that to stop, that is not anti-Semitic. It is not. Anyways, let's see here. A separate but similar incident unfolded earlier in March at Florida International University after the Miami Herald published leaked group chat messages from a number of its students, including an official of the Miami-Dade Republican Party, featuring racist, sexist, anti-Semitic, and homophobic comments. I believe we covered that as well. Like, surprise, surprise, like another Republican group. The Guardian reported in November on a surge of anti-Semitism investigation on U.S. campuses after the 7th of October 2023 terrorist attacks by Hamas and Israel's subsequent war in Gaza. Come on, Guardian. Just say what it actually is. It's not a war. It is a genocide, for the love of God. In a statement announcing the UF group's suspension, Donald Landry, the university's interim president, said the school has empathetically supported its Jewish community and remains committed to preventing and addressing anti-Semitism and other forms of discrimination and harassment. He said UF would work with the Florida Federation of College Republicans, FFCR, to restore the chapter under new student leadership when it was ready to do so. In the social media post announcing it had retained legal counsel to fight its termination, the campus-level chapter said UF was talking to the wrong umbrella group. They cited the FFCR, an organization that we are not a part of, that has no authority over our chapter. We are proud members of a different organization. Yeah, the Nazi organization. It said, referring to a group called the College Republicans of America. It reposted a letter from the CRA chair, Will Donahue, calling on Republicans to refocus on fighting political opponents rather than each other. A political movement does not survive by devouring its own, Donahue wrote. The CRA recently appointed far-right social media personality Kai Schwemmer, a close associate of white nationalist Nick Fuentes. So these people are just straight up Nazis. Like, what do you want me to say? I'm tired of people doing Nazi things, and then when there are consequences for that, they clutch their pearls and they're like, oh my God, how dare you? We're just trying to be Nazis and do Nazi things. Well, I'm sorry, but like, when can we get a law like officially banning Nazism and like fascism, like similar laws that we have against communism? Because these two are not remotely comparable. Okay, they're just not. Let's see. Several elected Florida Republicans have called out the students' behavior and said there's no place in the party for anti-Semitism or racism. The individuals in the group chat have exposed how profoundly misaligned their beliefs are to views of the Republican Party of Florida. State Senator Elena Garcia, Alexis Katayud and Ana Maria Rodriguez said in a joint statement after the FIU episode. The statements made by those individuals clarify their moral and intellectual corruption and demonstrate a complete misalignment with core shared American values. The Miami Herald reported that the UF chapter's lawsuit was filed Monday in federal court in Gainesville. It said the university unlawfully deactivated and shut down the club in retaliation for protected political speech and asked for an emergency order to restore its campus access. How about you just fuck off? How about that? How about that? All right, I'll get into it in a sec. I'd want to finish this. The UF chapter's attorney, Anthony Sabatini, a former Republican state representative, told the Herald that the group was targeted for promoting an aggressive America First agenda. These guys are more hard-edged, what I would call the true right, and they wanted to punish them for that. Fishback in a post on X called UF's action deactivating the chapter a disgusting attack on the First Amendment. Shut up. None of you care about the First Amendment. You only care about the First Amendment when it comes to just being a racist. And said he stood with any student group on the right or the left whose free speech rights are under threat. A U.S. spokesperson said the university would not comment on pending litigation. I wonder what Fishback's comments are on pro-Palestinian and anti-Israel protests. I wonder what his stance are on those when those students get similar consequences for standing up for what's actually right and other colleges and universities around the country, and when the DOJ specifically cracks down on them. Now, the thing is, have you heard of the DOJ investigating any of the universities mentioned here, like the University of Florida or Florida University, whatever? No. And I'll save you a Google search. I looked it up. Guess what? No, they're not. In this unlimited crackdown on anti-Semitism, which has, well, it's been disguised as a crackdown on anti-Semitism, but what it really is from the federal level is a crackdown on any anti-Israel sentiment. But of course, when it comes to real anti-Semitism, there's nowhere to be found. And it's just crazy to me that these people just think like they have the right to just be Nazis and think like, oh, we can't be punished for that. We're America first. And it's just, I don't know what else I could say. It's crazy. These people are Nazis, and I don't know what else to tell you. In a different time, I probably would have said like, they're kids. They don't know any better. It's not as big of a deal as you're making it to be. This should be more like focused on being corrective. But like, when the Republican Party is actually pretty much at this point, at least at the federal level, and, you know, state and local level too at this point, is actually becoming like openly Nazi, openly racist, openly anti-Semitic, and openly just bigoted, I'm like, okay, yeah, maybe we do need to take a more heavy-handed approach towards these fucking Nazis. Anyways, that's all I have for this one. Let me know what you think in the comment section down below, and I will see you in the next one. If you made it to this point in the video, I just want to give a special thank you. If you enjoyed it, please hit that like button down below, and if you really enjoyed it, maybe consider hitting that subscribe button while you're down there. I want to hear your thoughts in the comment section. I will try to reply to any and all comments that I can. Until next time, watch that video on screen.